Cartridge Crusaders. Dash. Start.
Well, Dash, thanks for inviting us over, dude. We don't do this nearly often enough.
Man, we haven't had an epic game night since that Splatterhouse 2 evening, and so hopefully we can relive that glory.
So what are we playing?
Some Mario Kart L64. Somehow Rob came out from under his rock. What the hell have you been doing with
done this all
yourself?
summer. I don't know, man.
Do you know what video games are?
I dabble.
What the hell have you been doing with yourself?
I don't know, man. I still mess around a little bit. Like, I haven't been playing too much, I guess. But, I mean, I bought that NES off you last year at that convention in Cleveland, remember?
You play a lot?
Yeah, all the time.
Sweet. Oh yeah, was that when I gave that to you?
Yeah, gave it for $30.
Hey, that's a one-off custom
Okay.
piece.
Wait. You guys are talking about CCAG.
Man, you remember how freaking hot it was in that tiny little building last year at CCAG?
God,
Dude, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I still got like a couple good things, but it was like butt to butt, like roaster oven in that tiny little building the
It
other
was
day.
so bad. You weren't even in our car on the way there either.
No, I came with my dad because I went to that Turbo Dodge meet afterwards in my Chrysler. That show was just, it was too big for its britches at that place. It was just so many damn people in such a little place.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was out of control.
The beer room was like the only refuge you could go to because everything else was just like a burning sweat pit.
What'd you guys actually even buy there?
I didn't even buy anything that day.
Well, Scott, you saw Battletoads, but
There was that Battletoads.
Man, I bought some random NES games. I bet you I bought like 10 or 15 games there, but I don't really remember what the hell it was that I bought.
I picked up, I think it was Shining in the Darkness on the Sega Genesis, and I actually had to show it to your dad. Your dad was like blown away by it.
oh, Gary loved it, man.
Oh yeah. I'm sure he was shitting himself when he saw that.
That's an old Genesis game.
In the Darkness. I never heard of it.
It's got a fantasy theme to it.
I figured that.
Well, the best part of like encountering your dad, Dash, is Scott's in the middle of interviewing this guy about like old school computers.
So what happens is that there's a lot of emulation out there right now. Like all of these systems that you see in front of you, the TRS-80, the TI, 99J, the Atari 800, 6800, 6400, the Apple II CS, the Commodore 64, the Abby PC. Every single one of these guys has been emulated, and you can get software downloaded from the internet and just play to your heart's content, all these guys. For example,
I don't think you acknowledge him for like so long, and then right when Gary comes out, you're like, oh hey, this is my my next door neighbor's dad.
a lot of the stuff that people want is like, they want the box, the manual, and they want the experience. That's what you get.
Oh, this is my neighbor's dad, good friend Gary Hammond.
Hey there, how you doing? Hi, good to meet you, neighbor. Good to meet you too.
You'd think it was like Christmas in July there. There was a very kindly Santa Claus-like gentleman demonstrating an old archaic computer system, which was really nice of him.
I hate it when I can't write clear.
So what are you doing? You're flipping those tabs right there?
It's a multi-card. There's 164 different programs inside.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, it's like a snake nibbler game.
Yeah, you just have to get yourself boxed in, that's all.
I just remember that kick-ass Mario Brothers plumber van.
Oh yeah.
That was epic.
Oh my god.
Yes, Mario and Luigi are real.
Yes.
I would rock that thing.
Yeah. You know, the other thing too, I don't know about you guys, but I had high hopes. You know, I brought a big ass trade box, you know, thinking maybe I would be able to wheel and deal, and it was just so damn crowded you couldn't even, couldn't even carry a damn backpack in there really.
It was not gonna happen. I had my own backpack there too, man. You know, that was one of the first like community gatherings specifically for video games that we had been to. And I'm like, I'm gonna try to ship off some of this old stuff that somebody else can appreciate more. And we got there. It was not gonna happen.
Scott, didn't we like stop somewhere afterwards? You got a haul.
Yes, yeah, good point, man. The highlight for me of the trip was, okay, they're having a retro game trade show thing. You think that's where you want to be to get video games? No. But we ended up going to this place called James Games, not too far from the show. I'm just going to be honest, it's one of my favorite game stores actually in Cleveland. And we did some digging around there, and I looked in one of their cases, and oh my gosh, talk about underlooked inventory.
Is that where you got the box Game Gear stuff?
That was it. Everything was crispy clean, and not just that, they had actually good titles. Like,
There are good titles on the Game Gear.
believe it or not, it's hard to say what percentage that would be, but Bubble Bobble at one time was like one of my favorite games, period, as a kid. And I had that version, but like everybody else, I threw away the box. Disposable cardboard. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
So you guys gonna like try it again this year or what?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely planning on going. I'm free that weekend, so I mean, I did still get some deals last year, so I'm gonna check it out. I think. I don't know about you guys.
I'd be down to go.
Yeah. I'm in.
Skip it.
CCAG 2014. I am excited, as I've heard this year it's going to a bigger venue. There's supposed to be more vendors. It seems everything is going to be bigger this year, including the amount of people we're going with.
We begin the day in Vast's driveway, where we're hanging out, shooting the breeze, cracking some deals, because we're waiting for the convention to open at noon.
He's one of the Instagram guys and actually goes to school here in Toledo. So I've done many trades with him personally before. We're also going with a couple other Instagram regulars, Dreamcast Collect and Surreal Rager, also locally here from Toledo.
Anybody want this?
Give me $1.
You want to
I'll buy
look
it for
through
$1.
my trade pile real quick? I don't know if there's anything in there you would
Yeah, I
need,
can-
but if
yeah,
you want to take
Undeterred from last year when we weren't able to do any trading, I did still bring a big plastic tote that was loaded with trade bait, and I am sure glad that I did.
I don't know, did you check your collector app?
Yeah, I need Kirby's and Mega Man 4, and that's all I need. Oh wait, I think I need Sillies.
So you're just looking at the NES stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's back in the NES game, so everyone be afraid, because anything that comes up in Toledo will be gone when he's back at school.
I'm a little surprised to see that I have some NES titles that he needs. He's looking at Journey to Silius, Kirby's Adventure, and Mega Man 4. I'm trying to sell him on the Mega Man 4 because that's definitely a double of mine.
Yeah, I need Sillius and Kirby's. I think I'm gonna hold off on Mega Man.
Alright, well your games are definitely worth more than mine.
I'll grab them real quick. Well, this has got a crack in it.
Go ahead. I did see that.
And
Good
then-
old Felix and a Tengen Tetris.
Here it is, the start of the day, and I'm getting Tengen Tetris and Felix the Cat on NES. Wow. These are a couple of my bigger wants for the system, and I'm already like knocking them out before we even get to the show. Vath was a really cool guy for being flexible on the trade and just saying, hey, when we get to the show, you know, keep your eye out for me, and I'm sure we can work something out.
You know, I did bring quite a few spare items, items I don't care about, doubles, things like that. Oh, let me give this one a count. Here you go, dog.
Oh, thanks, man.
What? Sweet. I didn't know that was
Home improvement.
You're seeking that?
Yeah, Trevor the Toolman Taylor. What's up?
Crumb did drive separate because he knew the risk was there that he could get called into work.
We're not all that worried about it, though, because it's been almost a whole summer and he has not been called in one time this whole year so far.
We just get there and he gets the call almost immediately.
We showed up maybe 10 minutes early, which I knew would be too late because the parking was already extremely full and the line just to get in the door was large and growing. We get in this place, and what an improvement from last year. You know, last year the show was just too big for its britches. The venue was too small. This year it's nice, wide open. Everything's kind of more separated. There's room to walk and investigate all the tables.
I'm glad to say that the organizers of this show really had open ears to suggestions. Any complaint I had about this show last year, they pretty much rectified. If they were lacking any rare games last year in 2013, it was definitely a different story this year. There was an NWC gray cart there, and believe it or not, the owner of it was charging people $10 to take a selfie with it. As goofy as that sounds, people were doing it.
It's well known that I collect NES, and it'd be amazing if I could ever get a full set someday. However, I do have my heart set on quite a few complete Genesis titles, and I'm also a major TurboGrafx collector at this point. So I'm hoping to see a variety of things. As it turns out, this year's show was loaded on the Nintendo side.
There was a guy there selling his entire personal NES collection, And I hear that he actually owned the entire thing. As you can imagine, this is one of the best tables at this thing.
His prices were very reasonable. That right there made him probably the best vendor. I picked up the most items from him at the show this year.
It's been about 16 years that I've been doing this.
You look like a guy who could use a Retron 5.
No. I stopped collecting about 10 years ago. I used to get all this stuff from Funkoland, Babbage's, and Software, etc. When everything was like $1, $2, $3 in the bins. So 90% of my collection pretty much came from that. To watch it all come from what it used to be to what it is now, it's kind of crazy. A lot of the stuff I just don't play anymore. I just don't play anymore. So when you sit there and you do the collecting, it's like, well, you know, you want to play a game, you want to mess around with a lot of this stuff, but you just realize that you have an investment, and every single year it grows by a crazy percentage, and you're thinking to yourself, I've got so much money, and honestly, I'm to the point where I just want to be done and over with it and move on to things, you know, maybe put a freaking down payment on a house, pay off college loans, I don't know, but I do have my backup, which is my power pack. Always a plus. RetroUSB.com. There you go, Brian.
Someone at the show did get to his gun knack before me, which kind of sucks because I would have bought that for 80 bucks. Hats off to him for not just selling off his stuff on eBay. I believe I did pick up Super C Complete and Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat Complete, and I think I ended up passing that on to Desh for like gas money. This guy was passing the torch on to other collectors, and I, for one, did enjoy his tales of how he got some of the crazier stuff in his collection that happened like before my time in the collector world.
What, you had the full NES collection?
I did, yes.
Stadium events included?
Yep, $4.99 from Funkoland back in like 2002. Yeah, $4.99 when they still had the database online where you can sit there and you can search. You know, 500 miles, stadium events. Yeah, we got it. Call them up, hold it, go and do it. It's a wrap.
I was walking along the back aisle, kind of by a table they had set up for the raffles and stuff like that, and I noticed a bunch of TurboGrafx PC Engine homebrew games I was familiar with from Etherbit Games. I was surprised to see that they had their newest release game there in the flesh, and they were selling it. I had to pick up the last copy that they had of the new game they just released, Atlantean. It's a side-scrolling shooter. It is the first homebrew TurboGrafx game on HuCard format. Everything else so far has been done on the disc. So they have everything 3D printed. It's just really cool. I couldn't say no, so I had to buy it. I can say that I was lucky enough to be one of the first people in the country to get this game. In fact, one of the gentlemen who made the game was telling me that even the pre-orders hadn't been sent in the mail yet. NES and TurboGrafx, that's what I'm after. That's what I bought today. I got Sesame Street Combo Cart. This game completes my Sesame Street collection on the NES. I can't tell you how proud of that achievement I am. Then we've got Top Players Tennis, you know, whatever dollar game I don't have. Then
Is this the famous YouTuber section?
Oh, it is right here. It is. Welcome. So I got Akari Warriors 3, Supercars, Big Nose Caveman, Motor City Patrol, Monster Truck Rally, and the heavy hitter being Die Hard. And I bundled those up for $105, so it wasn't all that bad. Later on down the road, I got a Mega Man 6, which is one of the two I'm missing. I got a copy of R-Type Loosey Goosey. It's not in best shape, but for $5, it's a game I don't have. I'm gonna buy it.
I was walking by one guy's table, and he had a lot of higher-end merchandise. The one thing that catches my eye is a complete Mega Man 5. I really like the way he has this game priced. I still can't bring myself to pay $145 for a game. That wasn't going to happen at this show. However, I did have a Sega sports cart with me, and I figured it was time to put it to good use. World Series Baseball is actually the second hardest game to find for the 32X. It is no ordinary Sega sports title. That's where the value comes from. I just have pretty much no attachment to it. At the start of the show, I wasn't necessarily gunning for a big ticket item like this, but now I gotta say, along with Fire and Ice, this is one of the most prized pieces in my collection. Something else spontaneous that happened is I was just looking at a vendor's case, had many nice things in it. Some random guy walks up with a box complete Mega Man X3 and he wants to trade it in. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Like, this is going down right in front of my face. I don't even know what the end terms were, but I walked back later and I did see it in the case. The vendor got it.
I got Mario's Time Machine, Pro Sport Hockey, probably the best game I've ever bought, Color of Dinosaurs, Rockin' Cats, Princess Tomato from Scott, and Des was so sweet to let me get Tecmo Cup Soccer.
You know, this year there was so many rare things that you just don't ever see. You know, your boxed Earthbounds, your, you know, crappy gray cart, you know, NWC.
We did have a really good time at the show. We brought a little bit of a bigger crew this year, and it definitely was the more the merrier. We got to see some great games and buy some.
At the end of the day, after we all shoehorned into my one car, you know, the ride back, reflecting upon the show this year and just realizing how much fun we all had, you know, we can't wait till next year.